Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Lexington High School for another edition of the 2024 InterCity League. Today's regular season matchup features the visiting Stoneham Sabers and your 17-time ICL champion, Lexington Blue Sox. We will commence tonight's ball game by introducing you to the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Stoneham Sabers. Leading off for Stonum, playing center field, number 31, Dylan Lovio. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 2, Matt Consigli. Batting third, the left fielder, number 33, Danny Choate. Batting cleanup, the extra hitter, number 27, Daniel Scolaro. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 37, Nick Callahan. Batting sixth and catching, number 9, Tommy Shimchak. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 13, Angelo Colucci. Batting eighth and playing third, number 14, Matt Shea. Batting ninth, the shortstop, wearing number 23, Emmanuel Cepeda. And playing second base, batting 10th, number 16, Nelson Correa. Starting on the mound for the Sabres, number 28, Cole Perkin. The Sabres are led by manager Angelo Colucci and enter tonight's matchup with a record of 0-2 so far through 2 ICL League games. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Lexington Blue Sox. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 5, Jonathan Luders. Batting second, the third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 10, Justin Gomez. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 53, Giancarlos Ramirez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 34, A.J. Lisco. Batting sixth, the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 33, Nick Anderson. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 4, Dylan Walsh. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 6, Ben Valenti. And batting 10th and catching, number 42, Austin Travis. Starting on the mound for the Blue Sox tonight, number 22, Dan Metzdorf. The Blue Sox are led by manager Rick DeAngelis and enter tonight's matchup with a record of no wins, no losses, and 1 tie after their 1 league game. Fans, we remind you to enjoy this game at your own risk and stay constantly aware of batted balls and other objects that may be put out of play. Additionally, we ask that all fans stick to the foundations of sportsmanship when cheering on their team. We default to the umpiring crew on any and all ejection decisions, and their decision is final. Without further ado, Mr. Umpire, the field is yours. Gentlemen, let's play ball.
Chris Del Sordo with the introductions, and welcome back to Game 2 of the 2024 season of Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Sam Feely here with you as the Blue Sox come off the first scoreless tie in the InterCity League in 5 years, which incidentally was also a Blue Sox game in 2019 against the Stoneham Sabers, the Somerville Royals. They play the Stoneham Sabers tonight, who are 0-2 to start the season. The tie for the Blue Sox on Monday night against the Middlesex Expos. So the two teams that merged to form the Sabertooth Expos the last couple of years, Middlesex and Sabertooth Expos the last couple of years, are now separate franchises again. And the Stoneham Sabers, their first full season in the InterCity League as their own squad. And they will be taking on former BC left-hander and Chicago White Sox prospect Dan Metzdorf. Yeah, I got the scorebook. What did he say? Right knee. Right knee. Oh, okay. Well, that's why I asked him to let me log into the stuff, yeah, and update everything. All right, well, anyways. Dylan Lovio will lead things off for the Stoneham Sabers. First pitch coming at you at 8:06 is in there for strike one. We're underway. Dylan Lovio in center. I say shortstop, I meant center. Luvio in center, Matt Consigli the DH, Danny Choate in left, Daniel Scolaro the extra hitter as Luvio tries to bunt his way on and comes up empty. Strike two. Daniel Scolaro mentioned the extra hitter. Nick Callahan at right, Tommy Shimchak behind the plate. Angelo Colucci at first, Matt Shea at third, Emmanuel Cepeda at short, and Nelson Correa rounding out the lineup at second. Ball one to Luvio. Still behind the count, though, 1-2. A swing and a miss. Ball be picked up by the catcher, Austin Travis. Will fire down to A.J. Lisco at first for the first out of the ball game.
Batting second for the Sabres, the designated hitter, number 2, Matt Consigli.
So here's Matt Consigli, the DH. Profile on Metzdorf for him, making his Blue Sox debut. In 4 seasons on the Heights, he was 13-16 with a 4.42 ERA. That's sinking fast. A diving. No, he did not catch it. It'll be a base hit for Consigli. Fine effort in center by Nick Anderson, who almost came up with a highlight reel play in the top of the first last night. Monday night, rather. Although tripped up maybe by a divot there in center field on Monday night. That time, fine effort, but just dropped a little bit in front of him and a land for a base hit for Consigli. Can't win them all, but can't knock the hustle, obviously. Here's Danny Choate, the left fielder. Ooh, ball one to Choate, left fielder. Pretty close to the edge there, but not close enough. Throw back to first, and back safely is Consigli. Consigli, now 3 for 8 on the season after that leadoff base hit, is 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts. A swing and a miss by Choate, and the count evens at 1. Choate 2 for 5 to begin the season with 2 walks and 2 ribbies. 1-1 the count. 1 out here in the top of the first. Throw back to first once again and back safely is Consigli. And the throw back to Metzdorf, a little off target, but Anderson Jimenez there to keep it close, and no further advance by Consigli, the DH for the Sabres. Still 1-1 the count as Consigli gets his lead off the first. And the pitch is a swing and a miss. Maybe a little quick pitch there from Metzdorf, and it is 1-2. Holding L2 in the show. I know. Oh, wow. Look good from here. Again, it's not my call. 2-2. Metzdorf comes set. The pitch. Pitch goes to the backstop and ricochets conveniently right back to Travis, but it'll be a wild pitch that allows Consigli to get to second. And a full count now to Danny Choate. 3-2. Runner bluffs off of second, but it is a swing and a miss for strike 3, 2 down. Consigli got back to second without a throw, and here's the cleanup hitter, Daniel Scolaro.
Number 27, Daniel Scolaro.
Scolaro Did not play in the season opener against Melrose and was 0 for 3 with 2 Ks against the Lexington Bulldogs last night. So 2 nights in a row, Stonum playing at LHS. And that's fouled into the screen for strike 1. Expos also played their first 2 games of the season at LHS against the Bulldogs on Sunday. I take that back. Take that back. Got the wrong team in there, but regardless. Got the count wrong. 1-1. Got the order wrong. The Expos play their next game at LHS tomorrow against the Bulldogs. Inside for a ball. Runner was going anyways, so. It's going to be a stolen base for Consigli. 2-2 the count. With a runner at third for Scalaro, looking for his first base hit of the season. Oof. 3-2 is the count. And Metzdorf may be missing, but he's not missing by much, especially on the off-speed stuff. And it's going to have to make the Sabres think about it later in the game, I'm sure. Did he foul that one off? He did. We'll stay alive at 3-2. Quite literally right under his nose. 3-2 once again to Scalaro. And the payoff pitch upcoming. Here it is. Up and in. So a 2-out walk puts runners at the corners.
Now batting for the Sabres, the right fielder, number 37, Nick Callahan.
And here is Nick Callahan. So Scalaro's first base hit of the season will have to wait, but he does pick up his first walk. Here's Callahan, the right fielder. Upstairs for ball 1. Callahan, through 2 games, is 0 for 2 with a run scored. He's also been hit by 2 pitches. Oh, they got Scalaro in a hot box and said they'll come home. Oh, they safe. Rick Deams is going to come out and argue, but a double steal successful. At that point, you might as well just try to get Scalaro. You'll probably end up conceding the run during the pickle, but you'll get out of the inning. But those are the choices you have to make. It was a bang-bang play at home, but Consigli scores on the double steal. And the Sabres are out in front. It's 1-0. And now a runner in scoring position with a 1-1 count and 2 down. Swing and a miss. One darting away from the lefty Callahan. And the count will be 1-2. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count will be 2-2. Scalaro at second. That one's in the dirt, and another full count with 2 out. Reasonable start to the inning for Metzdorf, but full counts each of the last 2 batters. Scalaro drawing the walk, then eventually with the stolen base and brings home the run with a double steal. But Callahan is called out on strike 3 on the outside corner. Metzdorf strikes out the side, but 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Half an inning in the books. Sabres 1 and the Blue Sox coming up. Well, as we go to the bottom of the first, here's the starting lineup for your Lexington Blue Sox. It'll be Jonathan Luters leading it off at short, followed by Anderson Jimenez at third. Justin Gomez is the DH. John Carlos Ramirez is in left. A.J. Lisco is at first. Ben Leonard is the extra hitter. Nick Anderson is in center. Dylan Walsh is at second. Ben Valenti is in right. And Austin Travis rounds out the lineup behind the plate. I don't know why I said no hits. Kind of got it in my head that both batters, both Consigli and Sklar, reach on walks in that top of the first. I don't know how that happened. Folks, I do a lot. Outside, I do a lot, not just the Blue Sox. So, a lot to deal with one brain cell that my Greyhound uses 90% of the time. Anyways, Cole Perkin will be the starting pitcher for the Stoneham Sabers. He is making his Sabres debut here. First ICL matchup between the Blue Sox and the Sabres. And with Perkin already staked to a 1-0 lead, Jonathan Luters will lead things off here in the bottom of the first. Luters with a nice debut for the Blue Sox on Monday night. 1 for 3 with a single and a walk and a couple of fine defensive plays in the toughest position to play defensively in all the sport. Eschewing the batting gloves is Luters, and he'll take down away for ball 1. Righty on righty matchup to begin this Wednesday night ball game. Bottom of the first, 2-0 as that misses in the dirt. Luders, Jimenez, and Gomez due up for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the first, coming off that scoreless tie Monday night in their season opener against the Expos. Hitters count 3-0. Imagine John's going to let this one go regardless, unless it's absolutely on a tee. Blue Sox coming to play 6 out of 7 in the ICL, just at 1 point in the one game, and the Sabres 0-2 to start the season. 7th out of 7. 3-0 incoming. Here it is. A 4-pitch walk to begin the bottom of the first. Now, it's only a 1-run deficit, but if you want to make a comeback regardless, that's one of the best ways to do it. Get on base any way you can. I know it's early, but after a frustrating performance, especially in the later innings by the Blue Sox offense, they ended up leaving 10 men on base and had the potential winning runs in scoring position in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Having second and third with nobody out to begin that bottom of the 9th and base loaded 1 out and coming away with you get a point, everyone gets a point. Obviously, not the ideal outcome. But 5 straight balls now to start the bottom of the first, as Anderson Jimenez is ahead 1-0. 2-0. Just be glad you're not playing at Texas A&M right now. Chris Del Sordo knows what I'm talking about. Is it named after? I assume it's named after the ice cream brand, right? 2-0. 3-0. Infield, outfield, both playing straight away. Luders off of first here. 3-0. Oh, it's probably the closest that any of the first 8 pitches have been to start this inning, but does not get the call there, and it is first and second, nobody out. There was a similar pitch on the edge on the top of the first that as I say, there's a pitch at the top of the first that looked pretty good that I'm sure Danny Metzorf would have liked to have, but he didn't get the call. And you know, as long as the home plate umpire is consistent with his own, that's all you want, right? So first and second to begin the bottom of the first after 2 straight 4-pitch walks. And it'll be Justin Gomez to the plate. Gomez started last night's game behind the plate and went 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a ground out to first. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it off onto Worthen Road. We have an official broadcast. It is 0-1. You're looking to see a baseball get dismantled by that passing truck, Chris? School bus went right over it. Didn't stop. It's like the ending scene of The Naked Gun, right? Yeah, not even close. 0-2. Well, whatever Shimchak said to Perkin worked, as he's now ahead 0-2 of the Blue Sox number 3 hitter. Peering in for the sign here. Taking a long look. Comes set. And comes home with it. Down and in for ball one. Shimchak was looking for it high and it went low. One and two the count with Looters at second and Jimenez at first. And the pitch. Popped up into foul territory over towards the third base bleachers, and that'll get out of play. Still 1 and 2. 12 pitches already here in the bottom of the first for Perkin, and no outs yet. Still dealing with number 3 hitter Gomez. With Giancarlos Ramirez due up next, wearing the Pete Frady's number 3 jersey tonight. Perkin peering in for the sign from Shimchak. Looks at first, looks at second. Comes set. And comes home with it. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. That was the call he was hoping to get during the Jimenez at bat. When he got it there on the opposite side.
Left fielder, number 3, Giancarlos Ramirez.
That's the first out. Huge first out there. Now a ground ball could get him out of this one unscathed. Giancarlos Ramirez, all in or no, all or nothing kind of swinger. Had a couple opportunities last night. That's a ball down and in, 1-0. Giancarlos was 0 for 2 after pinch hitting for Travis. Hits this one the opposite way, a mile off the end of the bat, and that'll get down. Some hesitation on the bases, though. They're still waving, well, they'll only wave one runner home. We have a tie ball game. It's a double as Jimenez gets to third. Anderson Jimenez giving Nick Callahan a lot of credit to try and catch up to that one, but that was a missile off the end of the bat the other way, and an RBI double for Giancarlos, and we are level at 1.
The first baseman, number 34, A.J. Lisco.
I don't know how much harder you can hit it off the end of the bat the other way. There's a little bit of a breeze. It's kind of blowing across the field from first out to left. It's not exactly blowing out, but it will, hook the ball a little bit. Away from the right fielder when you're swinging righty there, and that is a strike to A.J. Lisco. So we are level at 1 on the RBI double. That brings home Looters. And Ramirez now at third. Down and in for a ball, 1-1. And I just realized that I am giving the Blue Sox way too much credit with the score bug there. 141. You wish. It's Calvin ball all of a sudden. That's what ICL stands for, right? The InterCity Calvin Ball League. Now, in that case, the score would be Oogie to Boogie or Q to 12. Off the handle of the bat there for Lisco. It's foul for strike 2. Imagine betting on Calvin Ball. How would you set the lines? Over or under Humdiddly Winkle Doodle Snorfin and a half, right? All right. One and two the count. 2 runners in scoring position. Perkin comes set. Corner infielders in here. And the pitch. Off the end of the bat. This should be enough to get the run home from third. They do get it. As Ramirez gets to third, Jimenez scores on the RBI groundout. 6-3 off the bat of Lisco. 2 down, but the Blue Sox lead 2-1.
Now batting the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard.
So, Blue Sox don't have to wait very long for their first runs of the game after that scoreless 9-inning affair on Monday night. They lead 2-1, and here's Ben Leonard, the extra hitter. Ooh. Weighing out the curveball, and it's not where he catches it, where it crosses the plate. It is 0-1. Perkin delivers, reaching for it and fouling off the other way. Count will be 0-2. They've been making contact. Blue Sox hitters have been trying to go the other way, it seems. So Ramirez at third, 0-2 with 2 out. And the pitch, and we'll have to wait. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks started this inning, and both those men scored. Looters on Ramirez's double and Jimenez on Lisco's groundout. 0-2. Here it is. Way up and away. The way that ball was spinning at the end, you worry about maybe Shimchak popping out of his crouch to get that one, maybe nicking off his glove to the backstop. John Carlos is a strong dude over there, but he's not exactly a turtle. He can run. Let's see what he can do here. As that drops for a base hit, he can just jog in. Run like the wind, bullseye, 3-1, RBI single for Ben Leonard.
The center fielder, number 33, Nick Anderson.
So Ben Leonard picks up the base hit and the RBI to plate Ramirez, and here is Anderson, the 7th batter of the inning for the Blue Sox. Swings and misses for strike 1. Anderson had the first hit of the ball game for the Blue Sox last night. It's 1 for 4 with a single in his first at-bat, but 3 strikeouts on top of that. It goes down and away, and up to second goes Leonard. Wild pitch. So another runner in scoring position for the Blue Sox. Swing and a miss. Just blowing the fastball by him down the pipe there, and it is 1-2. Using this scoreboard controller is an acquired skill, Chris. Don't worry about it. I was like, I just want to make sure I wasn't wrong. I'm stupid. Yes, indeed, I'm stupid. 2-2 or 3? Well, you have 2-2. We haven't been told otherwise by Blue, so all right. I'm sure he would have told us if we were off. We've been wrong before. Well, no matter now, as that is a swing and a miss for strike 3, and the side is retired. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Perkin, but they pick up 3 runs on 2 hits, and through 1 complete, 3-1, Blue Sox.
Leading 3-1, due up for the Sabers. It will be Tommy Shimchak, Angelo Colucci, and Matt Shea. Lexington. Now pitching for the Blue Sox, number 27, Matt Draper. Leading off the top of the second inning, the catcher, number 9, Tommy Shimchak.
Matt Draper, the new noodle for the Lexington Blue Sox, gets Shimchak to swing and miss for strike one. So Metzdorf, first inning of Blue Sox uniform, allows a 1 run on 1 hit and picks up 3 Ks, gives way to Draper. Check swing, they'll appeal, and he did not go, so it is ball 1. 1-2. Matt Draper played most recently college ball at UMass Lowell. His career for the Riverhawks, 5.35 ERA, 6-19 record, and 165 strikeouts in 193 1/3 innings. Career best with the Riverhawks, 3.86 ERA and 39 2/3 innings in 2022. So a 1-2 count here to Shimchak. Breeze is starting to blow out towards center now from behind us. You can hear the wind rustling in my mic here as that is low for ball 2. 2-2. Tommy Shimchak, Angelo Colucci, and Matt Shea due up here in the top of the second for the Sabers. Called strike 3. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the second.
The first baseman, number 13, Angelo Colucci.
Well, here's the InterCity League's very own Jackie Moon. Angelo Colucci, player, manager, owner, founder of the Stoneham Sabers. A little blooper back to the mound. Barehanded on to first for the out. How's that for a semi-pro all-star play? It's amateur baseball, don't worry. 2 out.
The third baseman, number 14.
I think I forced that one a little bit too much. Sounded like a good idea at the time, I know. Here's Matt Shea, the third baseman. Outside for ball 1. I feel like that pitch in that spot is, off the plate, but pitchers get that called a strike quite often to the point where you're surprised it is called a ball. Again, reasons why we're back here, right, Chris? 1-1 the count. They're slinging that one in there. 1-2. Oofa! Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Draper. 5 of the 6 outs so far registered by the Blue Sox have been by way of the K. Through a buck and a half. 3-1. We go to the bottom of the second, and it'll be 8, 9, and 10 due up for the Blue Sox. Dylan Walsh, Ben Valenti, and Austin Travis due up. For the Blue Sox, who lead 3-1 after a buck and a half, Walsh, the second baseman, will lead things off against Perkin. And that is just high for ball one. Perkin is out of Wenham, Mass. And that's in there for a strike to even the count at 1. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left for the Blue Sox. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left for Stonum. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Chris El Sordo is a Philly native. I'm sure my in-laws will appreciate that. They're all huge Philadelphia sports fans. Oh, I get it. I get it. I mean, second place is the spot from where the Red Sox broke the curse of the Bambino. You know, second place in the AL East. I mean, 2 and 2. But Chris is Chris. Chris and I were discussing, along with a couple of folks who will hopefully be joining us for more Blue Sox coverage later in the year. We were discussing, the finer points of pronouncing Massachusetts town names. I mean, it's one thing to have, it's one thing that you have, a major city, just named after, a city in the Book of Revelation. But then you've got, Massachusetts, where most towns are either named after towns in England or have Native American names. And both can be a struggle for those who aren't from here. Capital F, capital H. 3 and 2 as that nearly came in and got Dylan Walsh. For example, any town that ends in ham. Stonum, Waltham, Stoneham, Waltham, Wenham. It goes on. It goes on. It can vary. It really can vary. Ham. Unstable, pronounced unstable. Braintree. There's another made-up Massachusetts. No, I'm just kidding. Interestingly, the town of Braintree, I know it looks weird when it's spelled, the word human organ brain and the word, the plant tree together. It's actually named in the same naming custom that you get towns like, Coventry. Same root. And a nice route taken of that pop-up into foul territory by the Stoneham third baseman, Matt Shea, for the first out here of the bottom of the second.
Now batting the right fielder, number 6, Ben Valenti.
Although that's a different kind of route. Or is it route? Depends on who you ask. English isn't a real language. It's 3 languages standing on top of each other in a trench coat. There's your linguistics lesson for the day. Come back tomorrow night. We're going to do fractions. Ben Valenti, the right fielder. You folks are not ready. I'm sorry. Swing and a miss, strike 1. To get a little bit more on points, that's taken for strike 2. Mentioned how Monday night's game between the Blue Sox and the Expos is just the 10th scoreless tie in the InterCity League since 2006. The first one in 5 years. So the Royals and the Blue Sox tying on the last game of the regular season in 2019 for that one. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Ben Valenti, as Perkin picks up his third K. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Austin Travis, who made a cameo appearance in Monday night's game as a defensive replacement before being pinch hit for by Giancarlo Ramirez. Never got an actual at-bat. And he'll take strike one. Yep, exactly. Sure, John Carlos is wondering I'm sure John Carlos is wondering where was this win when I was up the first. I'm sure he'll take the RBI double, obviously, but I don't know if he got to hold one into this wind. Could be seeing it into Hanscom airspace. I don't know. 0-2. 5 straight strikes here. First to Valenti and now to Travis. Does he have another one in him here to get out of this 1-2-3? Yes, he does, but it goes to the backstop. Will they get him in time? They won't. So it's a strikeout, but also a wild pitch that keeps the inning alive.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Jonathan Luders.
Takes me back to game years ago. Ross Curley was in the on-deck circle. The guy at the Blue Sox batter at bat had 2 strikes on him. He took a pitch that bounced to the plate, went to the backstop, and Ross said from the on-deck circle, "Swing now and run." There's another one that goes to the backstop, and that will allow Travis to get to second. So 1-0 the count. Now runner in scoring position for Luders, who walked to begin the bottom of the first on 4 pitches. Going back to the figure about there being now 10 scoreless ties in InterCity League play since 2006. There's another one. Wow. It's 2-0. Now 3 straight wild pitches. First on strike 3 on Travis. Allowed him to get to first. And balls 1 and 2 to Luders get Travis to third. Two and 0 to Luders. Oof. Again, it's that spot. It looks to be good on the outside edge to righties, but is a ball. So 3-0 to Luders. Throwing ball 4 here. Worst case scenario. More ways to get you out of the inning. Bring up Anderson. Ground ball to short, and you can just step on second to end the inning, but don't want to keep the merry-go-round going for too long. 3-1 now to Luders. I keep getting taken off track on the tidbits about the scoreless ties in the ICL. There's ball 4. That squirts away again, and in to score is Travis. So Luders draws the walk, his second walk of the game, and Travis does the wild pitch cycle, essentially.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
Well, here's Anderson Jimenez. Rick DeAngelis told me to write neatly on the score sheet tonight. I don't know how neatly I can log that little itinerary. Ball 1 to Jimenez. He also drew a 4-pitch walk his first time up. There used to be a lot more ties, though, in the ICL. And, like, that's not just a product of the league playing more games in the regular season in years past. Like, you'd see, like, teams like 3 or 4 or 5 ties in a season. There was a point, though, when we didn't always play extra innings in the regular season. Asked Rick when that change was. He said he'd have to get back to me on that. Kind of a little hard to determine from the InterCity League website on looking at the summaries that are available, the box scores that are available, because on those scoreless ties that I mentioned, and the list of games, by the way, is on our community page, community section of our YouTube channel if you want to take a look. Those games, if you go to the box scores, you'll see the line score stop at 7 innings, but you go to the stats, and yeah, they played 9. To get the full details from Rick. When he has some availability in his copious free time. Little grounder to short, underhand to second, and that'll do it for the bottom of the second. 1 run for the Blue Sox on no hits, no errors, and 1 left. 4-1 Blue Sox after 2.
Move to the top of the third. 3-run lead for the Blue Sox. It's Lexington 4, Stonum 1.
You go to a baseball game, you'll see something you've never seen before. Chris Del Sordo and I conferring between innings that we don't think we've ever seen a wild pitch cycle in a baseball game at any level. Like someone reaching on, a wild third strike. Speaking of wild, that throw from Jimenez pulls the first baseman off the bag. Lisco, that'll be an E5. And Emmanuel Cepeda has a reach to begin the top of the third.
The second baseman, number 16, Nelson Correa.
So Cepeda, the number 9 hitter in the Sabers lineup, reaches on the E5. And here is Nelson Correa, who takes ball 1. First error of the ball game for either side. Correa, the second baseman, the number 10 hitter in the 10-man Sabres lineup. Throw back to first, and Cepeda is back. Katrina, your dad's trying to coach whom through the TV? 1-1 the count. Into the gap in right center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Picked up in center, and fired in towards third. Oh, should have gone to 2 there. Anderson tried to get Cepeda, and that opens the door for Correa to get into scoring position and bring the tying run to the plate.
The center fielder, number 31, Dylan Luvio.
In the person of Dylan Luvio, who struck out swinging to begin the ball game, and we have a Lavio. Okay. To be fair, I didn't know that at all last year. I didn't know it was Lavio. They just told us. Thanks, Angelo. You're good. You're good. Yeah, it's like. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of this usually at this level, PA or this, but hey, we're happy to bring it to you, folks. 1-1. A little broken bat grounder. Jimenez scoops it, fires on to first, gets Lauvio. Cepeda scores, RBI ground out. To third goes Correa. It is 4-2.
The designated hitter, number 2, Matt Consigli.
So you count that as an unearned run since Cepeda reached on the error, but Jimenez redeems himself by getting Lauvio 5-3. And Consigli trying to squeeze home Correa, but it came up empty. And it is 0-1. Ball one, 1-1. So the tying run at the plate in the person of Consigli, who singled his first time up and came home to score the game's first run on a double steal. Another chance for Jimenez. Thought about going home. Instead, will go to first for the sure out. And Correa scores. It is 4-3. Boy, Jimenez has been the center of attention this inning, hasn't he?
The left fielder, number 33, Danny Choate.
So, Sabres able to get 2 runs back. Still batting here in the top of the third with the bases empty and 2 outs. And Choate, who struck out swinging his first time up, swings and misses at strike 1 here. Down and away for a ball to even the count at 1. Yep. Still Draper out there for the Blue Sox on the mound, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Again, didn't have to wait very long for the offense to come rolling in tonight's game compared to Monday night's, but it is a full count now to Cho with the cleanup man Scalaro due up next. A swing and a miss for strike 3, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 3 for Draper, and Sabres pick up 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and leave nobody. We are through 2.5, 4-3, Blue Sox. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the third. Gomez struck out looking his first time up, and he takes strike one here. So the Sabres back within one after 2 runs on 1 hit and 1 Blue Sox error in the top half of this third inning. That hit him? It did not. 2-1. Three and one. Perkins still out there for Stonum, although there is now action warming behind him in the Stonum bullpen. Perkin peering in for the sign. Comes set. 3-1. Here it is. Up and away for ball 4. Leadoff walk for Gomez.
The left fielder, number 3, Giancarlos Ramirez.
Well, Blue Sox have the leadoff man on for the second time in 3 innings. They didn't get the leadoff man on at all on Monday night until the 9th. Strike 1 to Giancarlos Ramirez, who had an RBI double his first time up. That hit him. Anything to up the OBP, right? So first and second, nobody out for A.J. Lisco.
Number 34, A.J. Lisco.
Lisco, RBI ground out his first time up. Grounds this one to the right side. Step on first. They'll have to tag him there at second. And they do. Wow. First pitch swinging. Lisco grounds to the 3-6.
Now batting the extra hitter, number 6.
Gomez gets to third, but what a momentum swing that could be. So, Ben Leonard will try to keep the line moving. First and second, nobody out. All of a sudden, on runner on third, 2 out. Through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Ben Leonard brings home another one. He's 2 for 2 with 2 ribbies. Into scores Gomez.
The center fielder, number 33, Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson will step into the box. No movement or changes from Stonum, it looks like. So Anderson will bat here. He struck out swinging to end the first, his first time up. Swings and misses at that one. Strike 1. 0-1. So Ben Leonard, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs tonight. A swing and a miss, though, by Anderson. And the count will be 0-2. hello to the folks at home. I'll wake you up. Still 0-2 to Anderson. Dylan Walsh due up next if we get that far. 1 in the first, none in the second, 2 in the third for Stonum. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 so far here in the third for Lexington. And 1 will be all they get as Anderson comes up empty there. That ends the third inning, but the Blue Sox get 1 more run on 1 more hit and leave 1 more runner. Through 3, 5-3, Blue Sox.
Extra hitter number 27, Daniel Scolaro.
Daniel Scolaro to lead things off for the Stoneham Sabers here in the top of the fourth. And he takes strike 1. Will be Scolaro, Callahan, and Shimchak due up in the top of the fourth against Matt Draper going into his third inning of work, and he takes inside ball 1. Speaking of Lowell baseball, the OWH, Danny Graham is in the house tonight. Saw him earlier before the game. He's checking out the old stomping grounds where he really solidified his case an ICL Hall of Famer. Some of the biggest hits and one of the best hitters in Blue Sox and ICL history. That'll be up and away for ball 2. Coached at Lowell High as well. Central Connecticut alum is Danny Graham. Will bloop into right field for a leadoff base hit.
The right fielder, number 37, Nick Callahan.
So for the second consecutive inning, the Sabres get the leadoff man aboard, but this time by way of a hit rather than an error. And that is hit number 3 for the Sabres tonight. So the tying run at the plate in the person of the number 5 hitter, right fielder Callahan, will pop up on the infield. Caught on the mound, throw back to first for the double play. No, it dropped. Appreciate it. Looked like he popped up.
Now batting the catcher, number 9, Tommy Shimchak.
Yeah, I got thrown off too. That weird angle is just like how does it hit the ground? How does it go that high after hitting the ground first is what I want to know. But all right, he did get to second. I was gonna say, I mean that is a pretty reasonable angle for a pop up to take and just get absolutely ranched if you're going to second there. But anyways, lock in. I know. I'm terrible at my job. I get it. I get through the fencing? All right. 1-1. One and two. Runner in scoring position here for Shimchak, who struck out looking his first time up. Oh, boy. That's a tough one to not get if you're Draper. And it is 2-2. Wow. I was gonna say that sounded like what what I was gonna say like I'm speechless. Like it sounded like the ping of an aluminum bat, but yes sir. I still have them. Yeah, I still have them. I haven't given them to them yet. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Oh yeah. Never seen a bat shatter like that. And again, it sounded like an aluminum bat the way in the spot where it did hit it. Well, no matter now. Swing and a miss, strike three. There you go. I did. Multitasking.
The first baseman, number 13, Angelo Colucci.
Strikeout number 4 for Draper, and strikeout number 7 in total for Blue Sox pitching tonight. Here's Colucci. Mm-hmm. Ball 1 to Angelo. Comebacker his last time up, 0 for 1. Little blooper into foul territory that'll land for a strike. I don't know. I guess a ball bouncing that high. I guess it's a little more expected than, Vladdy Guerrero hitting a home run on a pitch that bounced in front of the plate. Foul ball. I do this stuff just to, try and anchor myself after. Oh, man, did I mess up that bad? It's like, hey, stuff happens. Also, please keep in mind, folks, that I am on ground level directly behind home plate. So don't, the perspective for some plays is better than others, both, depending on your elevation and your angle. And that'll mess up your perspective with that foul ball rattling the fence against which our camera is. Oh, look, one of the metal pieces is making a cameo there on the bottom left. 1-2 to Colucci. Forget me. Everyone watching this is going to need their vision checked after this game. Hello, folks at home. Read the top line. 1-2. Swing and miss for strike 3. Throw down first anyways, even though he's 10 feet off the bag at that point. 3.5 home. 3.5 in the books. We're halfway home. 5-3. Blue Sox.
Number 4, Dylan Walsh.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. Just that score bug. Dylan Walsh to lead things off for the Blue Sox. Cole Perkins still out there for the Sabres. Popped up, foul. Heads up in the dugout, or the bullpen, or Worthing Road. 0-1. Three runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left rather for the Sabres. 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 left for the Blue Sox. Walsh popped up to third his first time up. It'll be Walsh, Valenti, and Travis here in the home half of the fourth. 1-2. Katrina, does Kevin want to try catching one of those fastballs Hamlet Peralta was throwing last night? Monday night, rather? I wouldn't. I don't have a bad bag. I just have a bad everything else. 2-2. Now read the bottom line. You were closer to it, man. Right at you. Don Cheadle. Full count. Those NFL playoffs commercials with Don Cheadle though are some of the best things I've ever seen though. I do like, the genre of speculative, butterfly effect fiction if, certain sports plays were never made or were made that weren't. Yeah. That gets past Colucci down the line into the corner. It's a fair ball. Walsh on his way to second, and he will get there sliding with a leadoff double. Absolute bullet off the bat of Dylan Walsh.
The right fielder, number 6, Ben Valenti.
Leadoff man aboard for the third time now in 4 innings for the Blue Sox. Here's Valenti, who struck out swinging his first time up. That misses for ball 1. For as much as we've talked about over the years about the Blue Sox being able to, start huge rallies with the bases empty and 2 outs, that still doesn't take away from the importance of getting the leadoff man on. Like, at that point, you're forcing the pitcher to work from the stretch sooner than they'd like to, putting the pressure on, and changes the whole dynamic of the inning and eventually the game. Oof. Trying to sneak that one back into the inside corner, but not close enough. 3-0. Dylan Walsh picking up the leadoff double here in the bottom of the fourth. There's a strike. 3-1. Walsh did not have a single extra base hit at all last year. Here he is in game number 2 of the season with his first extra base hit in a Blue Sox uniform. That'll be inside for ball 4, and first and second, nobody out for the third time in 4 innings.
Now batting the catcher, number 42, Austin Travis.
Now, last inning, a 3-6 double play helped minimize the damage that the Blue Sox did. But Travis scored on a wild pitch cycle last time up. He's going to try and lay one down. It's a good one. Perkins got the ball. It is a successful sacrifice. 1-4. It is now second and third, 1 out.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the shortstop, number 5, Jonathan Looters.
So the lineup turns over for Looters. Having a Teddy Juba kind of game. 2 walks so far in his 2 plate appearances and a run scored. Ted told me the other night he went 0 for 0 with 3 walks and a hit by pitch. Common Thaddeus game. Hey, Teddy, how you doing? Looters takes on the inside corner for strike 1. Looking back at the home plate umpire like, was it? 'Twas 0-1. Walsh at third, Valenti at second. 1 out. Infield in. Down and away for a ball, 1-1. All the infielders in this time. Opposed to the just the corners we saw come in earlier this game. A little further along. Gotta keep the Blue Sox within striking distance if you're the Sabres, so you bring the whole infield in this time. Can't afford to concede too many more runs. It's now 2-1 to Looters. Five walks and a hit batsman to this point for Perkin. 2-1. Here it is. Ball 3. Close to the spot that was called strike 1 in this at-bat, but maybe a little too far inside. And Looters is in the driver's seat. Breeze seems to be blowing in this time, though. I'm certainly not strongly out, as it was a couple innings ago. Lined into left field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Rick DeAngelis will put the brakes on Ben Valenti at third as Walsh comes in, and it is 6-3 as Looters picks up the RBI single. And Matt Consigli coming out to have a word with Perkin, as well as Shimchak. And, well, it's a quick pep talk. No change, it looks like. So with runners at the corners, 1 out, and now a 6-3 ball game. Jonathan Luders picks up the RBI single. Anderson Jimenez to the plate.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
Jimenez 0 for 1, walk and a run scored in the first, and a strikeout swinging in the second. Read the second line. Strike one. Action warming in the Stoneham bullpen. Looks like Jack Mahoney getting warmed up there. Jimenez down the line in right, slicing. That is a fair ball. Valenti scores, Luders to third. RBI double for Anderson Jimenez. Justin Gomez about to bat, but not before we have a pitching change, as that'll do it for Perkin. Tell you more about the new noodle after this.
Designated hitter number 10, Justin Gomez.
Justin Gomez will step to the plate to face the new Sabers pitcher, the right-hander Jack Mahoney. Sway's in the chat. How's it going, Sway? I'm sure you appreciate that RBI double by Anderson. Up close and personal with that wild pitch, and no advance by the runners as bounce straight back to Shimchak. Will freeze him, but it is 1-0. Gomez, 1 for 2, struck out looking in the first, singled and scored in the third. Ooh, strike one, top of the zone, 1-1. Here, John Carlos calling ball before the pitch was even caught. Sounds like something he would have laid off if he was that bad. Oh my goodness! Coming home is Looters, and he'll score on another wild pitch. And to third goes Jimenez. 8-3. Hanger, but hung a little too far high there to really crush it. And a reprieve there with a foul ball, and it's 2-2. 8-3 our score. As far as the Blue Sox are concerned, polar opposite of Monday's 0-0. 9-inning tie. Oof, just high for ball 4. So that'll put runners on the corners.
Now batting the left fielder, number 3, Giancarlos Ramirez.
For Giancarlos Ramirez. Down and away for ball 1. Laced into left field for a base hit. 1 run scores. It'll be a double for Giancarlos.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the first baseman, number 34, A.J. Lisco.
Nine 3 our score. Giancarlos Ramirez with another RBI double, and that is taken for strike 1. One and two. So Giancarlos Ramirez is now 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a hit by pitch, and a run scored. Lisco 0 for 2, couple of groundouts. That one gets past the pitcher. They'll only go to first, and no advance by the runners. So
now batting for the Blue Sox, the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard.
2 down as Lisco grounds out, and here's Leonard, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs of his own. 9-3, runners at second and third for Leonard. Another wild pitch, and able to score standing up is Gomez as Ramirez gets to third. One and 0 is the count, and it is 10-3, a 5 spot so far here in the bottom of the 4th for the Blue Sox. Into right field, again off the end of the bat, and again into the gap for extra bases. Leonard's on his way to third, and he will get there standing up with a triple. 11-3.
That is Ben Leonard's third RBI hit of the contest. Now batting for the Blue Sox, the center fielder, number 33, Nick Anderson.
Well, another conference at the mound upcoming here, as Nick Anderson will look to avoid the hat trick, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Anderson takes ball one. Good job by Shimchak to keep that one in front of him and not allow Leonard to come home. Breaking ball up high, 2-0. Popped up. Coming towards the Sabres bullpen and past the Sabres bullpen. 2-1. In there for a strike to even the count at 2. Blue Sox scored at least 11 runs 3 times last year. Including, oh no, should we, I guess, oh, all right, well, called strike 3. Blue, we got sprinklers on, just so you know. Yeah, sprinklers on right field. Oh, I'm having flashbacks to the 2015 championship series. 11-3 after 4. Well, I don't know if you can necessarily tell out there, folks, but There are sprinklers on in right field as this is flared into left center field for a base hit. So I guess we're just going to play keep away from the sprinklers here. Rick Diaz is trying to call DPW to let him know, hey, can you shut it off, please? But anyways, Matt Shea with a leadoff single here in the top of the 5th for the Sabres after a 6 spot in the bottom of the 4th for the Blue Sox to blow this one open. And Draper fires in strike 1 to Emmanuel Cepeda, who is 0 for 1, reached on an error and scored back in the 3rd. It's Shea, Cepeda, and Correa due up here in the top of the 5th for the Sabres, hoping that the sprinklers don't become a play hazard because they were only on right field. Now they're starting to turn on right center, too. And, oh boy, I was saying, I was having flashbacks to the 2015 championship series. Appeal, he did not go, and it is 1-2. This is before we had the video broadcast, but it was Game 3 of the 2015 championship series at Morelli Field in Melrose. The Blue Sox were leading the series 2-0, and a swing and a foul off. And it ended up being, all things considered, the greatest baseball game I had ever seen in the InterCity League or any league. We were the Blue Sox were up big. The Chiefs started to mount a furious comeback. They eventually took the lead. There were a couple controversial calls that resulted in the ejections of Rick DeAngelis and Jeff Vigers. That's called strike 3 on Cepeda. And this will, in fact, be Correa. In the middle of all this, as it was getting, later into the night at Melrose, the sprinklers came on at Morelli as that bounces to the plate, to the backstop, and up to second on the wild pitch goes Shea. And we were unable to get a hold of the DPW because it was just that late, We talk about, only maximum 9 innings in the ICL, but that goes away, obviously, in the postseason. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. We're unable to get a hold of the DPW to shut it off, and then the lights go off, too. Todd and I are in the middle of, just taking requests from the audience for, rain-related songs, as that's a base hit into right. Now, long look there over at first, but back to first goes Correa. And we have a pinch hitter for the Sabres.
We have a pinch hitter for the Stoneham Sabers. Now batting for Stoneham, number 5, Liam Scott.
Liam Scott is going to pinch hit for Dylan Levrow. Where, as we learned, not Laveau, not Lauvio, Levrow. At some point, you have to think that someone is just messing with us, right? Knowing, Chris and I and our occupation. But, oh yeah, that's another thing. Well, thanks, man. O'Neill Jimenez is playing first base right now for the Blue Sox. Oh, was she? Oh. Wow. Time granted at the very last moment. And home plate umpire nearly got clipped there. One and one to Scott. Swing and a miss, 1-2. So, lights go out, sprinklers are on. Todd and I are taking rain-related song requests from the audience. We eventually suspend the game, and agree to resume. Well, that game was started, I think, on a Wednesday. Thursday, we weren't going to play at all because it was Steve Buckley's old time game, so we weren't going to compete with that. So we were going to resume it Friday. Friday, basically hurricane. And Saturday was Country Fest down at Gillette. So we resumed it Sunday afternoon. It ends up a swing. Well, this at bat ends up being a swing and a miss by Scott, 2 down. It ends up with Jared Frenny, putting on, doing his best Randy Johnson or Willis Reed impression, whatever you want to do, after on very short rest, at least as far as Wednesday was concerned, but then resuming. But Andre didn't really have, very many pitchers left after, healthy pitchers available after Frenny, because if the Chiefs won Game 3, Game 4 was going to start right after on Sunday, but it didn't because Mike Hart, down to the Blue Sox final out in Game 3, hit a game-tying home run. I interviewed him after the game about it, and he said he blacked out around the bases. The Chiefs retook the lead, a little underhand to first for the out that retires the side. Stonum gets nothing here in the top of the 5th. Chiefs take the lead, but then the Blue Sox tie it, and then Josue Feliciano, high sway, the biggest little hit of your life, that squeeze bunt to bring home the championship winning run for the Blue Sox. And the sprinklers are still going. They haven't affected play yet. 11-3 Blue Sox after 4.5.
To announce for the Sabers, now in at third base, number 4, Michael Maselli. And leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Blue Sox, the second baseman, number 4, Dylan Walsh.
So Michael Maselli is taking over at third base for the Sabers, and Liam Scott, after pinch hitting for Dylan Levrow, is in center. As that breaking ball to Dylan Walsh misses high, 4-1. Check swing, and it's in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0 to Dylan, who is 1 for 2. The pop up to third, and his first career extra base hit with the Blue Sox and in the InterCity League. A double leading off the 6-run bottom of the 4th. And has put the Blue Sox ahead 11-3. 3-0. Ball four. 4-pitch leadoff walk to begin the bottom of the 5th. So Walsh is aboard for the second time. And here's Valenti. Valenti with a walk his last time up and then came around to score. (11-3) in the second game of this 3-game homestand to begin 2024 for the Blue Sox. 9-inning tie. 9-inning scoreless tie against the Expos on Monday. Much different story so far here on Wednesday and Friday. Blue Sox will play Friday Night Lights against the Melrose Americans. Blue Sox looking for a balk call on Mahoney, but I think even Valenti was saying he had stepped off, so or he was stepped out of the box. It doesn't matter. 2-1. Two and one the count. That's in the dirt, and that'll be ball 3. No one warming behind Mahoney right now for the Sabres. Got to be careful not to call them the Spartans. Mix them up with the Stoneham Spartans, the Stoneham High School Spartans. Of course, the Sabres play some of their home games at Stoneham High. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Ooh. Good curveball there, but Valenti leaves that be, and then it's an easy walk to first. Instead, 3-2 to Valenti with Austin Travis due up next. Jackson Looters in the hole. Little dribbler to the left side. Shortstop Scott will underhand to second for 1, and that'll be all they'll get. 6-4 fielder's choice. Walsh is retired.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the catcher, number 42, Austin Travis.
Here's Travis, a wild pitch cycle after striking out his first time up to score a run in the second, then laying down a sac bunt in the 4th. 0-1. Valenti now at first after grounding into the 6-4 fielder's choice. Bounces to the plate. Valenti's on his way to second. Here's the throw down there. Not nearly in time. Wild pitch allows Valenti to get into scoring position. Action in the Blue Sox bullpen right now. I was thinking that maybe Draper was beginning to tire a bit in that top of the 5th, but no complaints about his effort tonight. So far, 4 innings of allowing 2 runs, only one of which was earned on 4 hits. Striking out 7. That'll get away from Shimchak and allow Valenti to get to third on another wild pitch. How many wild pitches is that at this point? I mean, obviously I have it in the book. I just got to count them up in a moment. 2-2 to Travis upcoming. Wind blowing out. Now's the time to get a hold of one. Act now. This deal won't last. Full count now to Travis. Inside corner, strike 3 call. The ball was dropped by Shimchak. I'll have to throw down to first to complete the strikeout. And he does. 2 down.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the shortstop, number 5, Jonathan Looters.
Lineup turns over for Jonathan Looters. 2 walks, a single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Hasn't been retired yet. Hoping that won't change here either. It's got Valenti at third and 2 down. That is high and away for ball 1. In the top of the 6th, the Sabers will have you have Consigli or Choate, right? 3, 4, 5. Yep, Choate, Scalaro, and Callahan due up. 2-0 is the count to Looters. Ooh, up and in. 3-0 with Anderson Jimenez. His spot due up next, but we have Charlie Walsh currently in the on-deck circle. 3-0, and that's in there for strike. 3-1. Up and away for ball 4.
Pinch hitting for the Blue Sox, number 11, Charlie Walsh.
That is the 3rd walk today, drawn by Looters. Also draw a visit to the mound, and it looks like that'll be all she wrote for Jack Mahoney. Pitching change for the Sabres here in the bottom of the 5th.
The third baseman, number 11, Charlie Walsh.
Charlie Walsh will bat here for the Blue Sox against the new Stoneham pitcher, happens to be the extra hitter, Daniel Scalaro. A little high for ball 1 to Charlie Walsh. Came in defensively last night for Dylan Walsh. Swings and misses. Trying to hit it to Candy Mountain, Charlie. 1-1. I broke Chris on game 2. I win. 2-2. Oh, is it 3-1? All right. I was gonna say I thought. What are you doing to me, Chris? Exactly. 3-1. Again, another swing towards you know where. Payoff pitch, run from first goes. Fouled off. Looters not being held at first. 3-2, 2 out. Here it is. Up and in for ball 4. Well, same song, another verse. Walsh reaches on the walk.
For the Blue Sox, number 12,
Chris Racias will pinch hit for Justin Gomez. Down away for. Oh, excuse me, it was a strike. Can you believe we're well past the 2-hour mark at this point, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th? Very different game from Monday, just on the surface, but we were over and done with by now 2 nights ago. It is the 5th, right? I just want to make sure I hadn't, slowed down time on my end. 1-2. I mean, for what it's worth, the sprinklers are off. 1-2, the count with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that'll do it. The Blue Sox leave them loaded. They still lead, though, 11-3 after 5.
We have a pitching change to announce for the Blue Sox. Now pitching for Lexington, number 39, Cole Donato. Leading off the top of the 6th for the Sabers, number 33, the left fielder, Danny Choate.
Choate, Scalaro, and Callahan to face a new noodle for the Blue Sox. Cole Donato. And Donato misses inside. 4-1 to Danny Choate, who is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Putting an end to Draper's night. 4 innings, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. That pitch was ball 2. It is now 2-1 to Choate. Scalaro due up next. Again, then Callahan. 3-1. Got an 8:06 start. We are past the 2-hour, 8-minute mark at this point. And again, we're over and done with at this point by this time. Monday night in that scoreless 9-inning tie. Up the middle and through for a base hit. Choate gets off the schneid with his first hit of the ball game.
Now batting for the Sabers, the pitcher, number 27, Daniel Scalaro.
Here is Daniel Scalaro, who hasn't had to worry about an offer on his line. He is 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, and a stolen base. That is up and away for a ball, and it is 1-0. Two and 0. Missed down and away, and the count will be 3-0. Don't want to dance around here with an 8-run lead and 6 defensive outs to get to pick up your first win. Just attack them, right? Well, it is a 4-pitch walk, and that is the second walk drawn by Scalaro tonight.
The right fielder, number 37, Nick Callahan.
So here's Nick Callahan, 0 for 2, strikeout looking, and a ground out to the pitcher. Not a pop-up 1-3 double play. Again, perspective can be thrown off when you're at field level sometimes. Also when you're straight behind the umpire and the catcher, too. 0-1 the count. And hit him, it did. Excuse me. So the base is loaded with nobody out to begin the top of the 6th. And Tommy Shimchak coming to bat. How do they attack Shimchak here? Conference at the mound completed. Shimchak 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Fouls off the first one. 0-1. Well, Choate led off this inning by getting off the schneid with that leadoff single, but then a walk and a hit batsman. Action began to warm once again in the Blue Sox bullpen. A swing and a miss. 0-2. Outside. Blue Sox infield loving it, but no dice. 1-2. Choate at third, Scolaro at second, Callahan at first. Swing and a miss, strike three. Big first out there. I know it's an 8-run lead, but you can't let your opponents have any hope. Shimchak goes down, strikes for the third time tonight, 0 for 3 of those 3 Ks. And here's Angelo Colucci. Ground out to the pitcher, and a strikeout swinging, 0 for 2 so far. A swing and a miss for strike one. Player managers are nothing new at this level. Nothing new in the InterCity League. Player coaches are also, even if they're not the manager, also common occurrence in the InterCity League. So you've seen Matt Karras as Matt Karras was our pitching coach, is one of our pitching coaches. Ryan O'Rourke has assumed that role as well. It's just for the Blue Sox. Dave Lightbody with a game-winning home run a few years ago in the ICL semifinals for the Alabrandies against the Wakefield Merchants. A swing and a miss for strike three. Colucci is retired. 2 down. And that'll bring up Maselli.
Now batting for the Sabres, the third baseman, number 4, Michael Maselli.
Maselli getting his first at-bat of the ball game after coming in defensively. Shea went 1 for 2 in this slot. A swing and a miss for strike one. In there for a strike, 0-2. 11-3. First three-man reach on a single, a walk, and a hit batsman, but then strikeouts of Shimchak and Colucci. Outside. Ball one. I know it's only the second game of the season. It's an 8-run lead, but you get out of these, it builds confidence, and you can get out of these in closer games and higher stakes games. A good curveball, but an even better take by Maselli, and the count will be 2-2. Choate at third, Scolaro at second, Callahan at first, fouled off. Sounded like it hit something, but I'm not sure what. Past the 2-hour, 15-minute mark of this ball game now. Here in the top of the sixth. 11-3 our score. The Sabres trying to claw back into this one, but another foul off here. Led 1-0 after half an inning, but the Blue Sox responded nicely with 3 in the home half of the first. Extended the lead to 4-1 after 2. Sabres got back within 1 in the top of the third, made it 4-3, but it's been 7 in a row so far by the Blue Sox. But again, the Sabers with a chance to get a little bit closer here. 2-2. Lined, diving. Oh, it gets away from Charlie Walsh at third base. It goes to the left field. 1 run scores, and here comes another. Huge hit there by Maselli. It is 11-5.
Now batting for the Sabers, the shortstop, number 23, Emmanuel Zapata.
Boy, Charlie Walsh nearly came up with that one on the dive, but just took a brutal hop in the infield and kicked into left field. So a 2-run single, 2 RBI single for Maselli. No way you can really charge an error there, but ground out to second ends the inning. The Sabres come up with 2 runs on 2 hits and leave 2. We are through 5 1/2. 11-5.
2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We have a pinch hitter for the Blue Sox leading off the bottom of the 6th. Leading off and pinch hitting for the Blue Sox in the left field spot, number 20, Andrew Salima.
Andrew Salima will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th to pinch hit for John Carlos Ramirez. A swing and a miss by the free swinging Andrew Salima, and it is 0-1. Another swing and a miss. Oh and 2. Salima and then Lisco and Leonard are the 2 batters due up. Off the end of the bat again the other way. Seems to be the theme of the night for the Blue Sox offense, but that'll land foul despite the best efforts of the Stonum left fielder, Danny Choate. And still Scalaro back out there on the mound for Stonum here in the bottom of the 6th. Blue Sox 3 defensive outs away from their first win of the season. Stonum getting 2 in the top half this inning, but hoping to mount a comeback in their last trip to the plate next half inning to avoid losing 3 straight to start the season. That bounces to the plate, and the count will be 1-2. Salima getting his first plate appearance of the season. Salima, career .262 hitter in 2 seasons with the Blue Sox, and he does not like getting rung up there on strike 3. 1 up, 1 down. 1 homer and 25 RBIs and an OPS of 715 for Salima from 2022 to 2023, along with 4 doubles. So 1 up, 1 down. I don't know why I said Lisco. I just forgot to write O'Neal Jimenez. Knew he had gone in defensively, just hadn't written him in this spot. But O'Neal Jimenez at the plate here, getting his first at-bat of the ball game. Grounder, and it'll be 2 up, 2 down. One more pinch hitter. All right, so Brendan Smith. Rick. Brendan Smith gonna pinch hit here for Ben Leonard. That's down in for ball 1.
This is number 57, Brendan Smith, pinch hitting for the Blue Sox.
1-0 the count to Brendan. Up and away for ball 2, 2-0. Top of the 7th when the Sabres will be down their final 3 outs. So we'll be sending Correa, Scott, and Consigli to the plate. Down low, and the count will be 3-0. That's taken for strike 3-1, and now Brennan will go to work. Taken for strike 3-2. Nick Anderson due up next if we get that far. 3-2, payoff pitch. Here it is. Called strike 3, and the side is retired. We go to the top of the 7th. Closing time for the Blue Sox. Up 11-5.
In 6 innings, the Lexington Blue Sox 11, the Stoneham Sabers 5. With the win, Lexington's record in the young season moves to 1-0-1, and with the loss, Stoneham drops to 0-3.
Well, I got some news for you, folks. Breaking news: Blue Sox win as the lights are going to go out here at center field in only a handful of minutes, and the Blue Sox pick up their first win of 2024. Angelo Colucci and I were actually just talking about this subject before the game. You know, their game they lost to Malden, you know, went by real quick. If they could have kept on playing, but I was just, you know, wouldn't be fair to others, you know, to like have limits on one game, have, you know, have a 9-inning limit on one game, and you get what I'm saying. Anyways, Blue Sox pick up their first win of the season. They are 1-0-1. They move up to 3 points, and it's 3 straight losses to begin the season for the Stoneham Sabers, and they are at 0-3. Still 0 points. Phenomenal performance by the Blue Sox all around. Matt Draper picks up the win. Cole Perkin gets the loss, no save. And Anderson Jimenez, Justin Gomez, John Carlos Ramirez, the very top and the very bottom of the order, really fueling the Blue Sox to this victory. So, thanks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network. Once again, the final score from Lexington High School, Lexington, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 11 and the Stoneham Sabers 5. Don't forget to support the Blue Sox and the ICL on Facebook and on the interwebs, InterCityLeagueBaseball.com. See you Friday night, we hope, weather permitting, for the Blue Sox hosting the Melrose Americans. Again, the final score, 11-5, Blue Sox win. For all my writing friends here at LHS, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin.